What's new in Bizagi 11.1? How to use datasets. Extracting data from business processes has always been a challenge. Typically, this has required a deep knowledge of building queries to generate reports and some technical skills to be able to get what you need. This challenge gets harder as different stakeholders will have requirements for different data views, creating complexity. As an example, in a car insurance company, a lot of information is registered about clients, claims, and vehicles. It would be great to use all this information to understand more about how the business works and to establish improvements to the processes. What is a Bizagi dataset? Datasets is an application which allows you to expose and save your Bizagi processes information in the cloud so that you can use it for specific purposes, that is, creating reports with third-party tools or for AI analysis. You can feed this dataset with data from the execution of your processes. Bizagi datasets deliver immediate and tailored insights from operational data, allowing users to make more informed decisions, with no complex queries needed. Bizagi datasets allow authors to define and feed specific datasets directly from business operations. If you decide to use Bizagi datasets to create queries or reports, this will not interfere with a transactional database, avoiding performance problems. These datasets are exposed via a RESTful API that complies with the Open Data Protocol, or OData, providing a secure and easy way to set up connections to third-party systems. Each dataset has a development, test, and production environment, with a clear separation from production data. Datasets store business information in a denormalized manner. This means that datasets hold this data in a single table-like structure. That is, without relationships, just like a CSV file does. Datasets provide the means for you to easily configure how and when information is extracted from business processes. This ensures that the data is final and that it doesn't need further preparation once it's in the dataset. In our business situation, we'll create a new dataset to extract information from the car insurance process, and we'll later use it to generate reports, or even to predict some behaviors of the business. We'll create a new dataset from manage.bizagi.com. Each dataset must contain the columns for the information you want to extract. You can define the columns manually. In this step, it's possible to use a CSV file. For each dataset, you can define different environments. There are 3 default environments: development, test, and production. With the dataset created, we now have to feed it information. There are 2 options to feed the dataset. If you have existing information from external data sources, you can load this information into the dataset as an initial load of information. Or using information coming from your processes. When feeding the dataset from a process, you must download the connector that the dataset will be associated with and include it in your Bizagi project. You have to add the connector manually and configure it. As a security feature, each connector will have a unique service endpoint and 2 access keys to complete the configuration in Bizagi Studio. It's important to identify the point in the process where the information is final and reliable in terms of being a good source for analysis. This will be the best place to include the connector. Once this is done, you may run your process. Within each new case, once the activity where the connector was set is complete, business data will be sent automatically into the dataset. For example, when we create a new claim related to one of our clients and complete all the information required. Once we click Next in the Estimate Damage activity, the information will be sent to the dataset and it will be displayed as a new record in the dataset. In this way, the dataset will be fed directly from our process. Once the dataset is created and populated with information, you can consume it from external applications. One of the most common uses of this are the reporting tools. Bizagi Datasets supports being consumed as an OData feed using basic authentication. As an example, we'll consume this dataset from Power BI to create reports. In order to prepare the configuration in Power BI, it's necessary to copy the OData URL and the two access keys located in the Security and Connectivity tab of the dataset. Finally, in Power BI, you must add a new OData source and include the information previously copied. You'll see a preview of the values that will be imported as data. And that's it. Once data finishes uploading, you may start using Power BI's features to build charts and reports according to the business requirements. In the next video, you'll learn how to use a dataset for creating predictions from a process.